I was detained and treated as a criminal in Rome. I was discriminated against my race and my nationality. I was going through passport control. I was with Greta, and this border patrol officer literally looked at me. His mood changed. He went thoroughly for every page of my passport, looking into all the stamps. After a while, I asked him, like, is something wrong or something? He was allegedly saying that 3 of them were fake for him. And obviously, I cannot say nothing about it, because if he says fakes, his voice is the only one who is the truth there. He take me to the back and he separate me from Greta. At this point, I'm quite optimistic. It's okay. It's a check. It's fine, because I always get random checks all the time. And this person take me to the back and I say, no worries, 5 minutes. It's gonna be only 5 minutes. And meanwhile, I was in the back. I was looking Greta just standing there, because they didn't want to check your passport.
Yeah, they refused to check my passport. I even asked people in front of me to let me through because they've separated us. 2 officers said no, they're not checking my passport. And I just said to them, you've separated me from a family member. This is an infringement of my human right to a family life. When I said that, they took that on board. They checked my passport. The same officer that checked Santos's passport checked my passport, looked at it, looked through the looking glass to see if it's real. I told him I don't have stamps because I have a Polish passport. You know, when he was checking for the authenticity of the passport, I just said to him, it's electronic, you can check. He took me to Santos, and we were walked to another location, and we weren't exactly told what's happening or what the process is going to be like. Literally, the only thing we knew is that they thought some of the stamps were fake, or potentially the whole passport itself.
Yeah, they were super secretive. They don't tell me nothing at all. And we were obviously with the time, we're gonna lose our flight, what's gonna happen, like, this is taking too long. Like,
yeah, we had about an hour and 20 minutes at the time that they checked our passports.
And before they tell us everything, and they did bring a guy who speaks Spanish, an interpreter, first asking me what I was doing, what I do. It was to have all the IDs. Yeah, I showed them my UK visa, I showed them my Mexican ID, and she was trying to speak in Polish with Greta. Trying.
He was checking if I'm actually genuinely Polish, because I didn't want to speak to him in Polish at first, just because obviously I prefer to speak in English.
The stamp that they was looking for was from the 6th of September from Barcelona. I was there from work and then for my burial as well. She was there with me. She was my witness. I showed them the boarding pass from the day. They didn't care at all. I asked them, I'm gonna lose our flights. What's gonna happen? Are you gonna refund us? No worries. They were super rude the whole time. The whole time were rude. They were abusive. They were like 5 people around me, on top of me, literally, like trying to intimidate me all the time.
Yeah, it was quite intimidating to have like 5 officers standing above you, because we're sitting down, because obviously we've been waiting for so long, and they're just standing like this. It's gone from 3 stamps to potentially the whole passport being fake, to now questioning 1 stamp.
Even the guy who was the Spanish interpreter was rude with Greta, telling her that she will not be talking with her, will talking only with me because the married with me, and telling her to leave because she was free to leave. Yeah, obviously, after the flight was missed already.
When they took you,
they took my fingerprints. They put me in the height measurement stuff, and they take me a picture, everything. They made me sign that stuff, and as much as they tell them what is going to happen, they used to keep selling like we will tell you now, we'll soon, no worries, it's going to be finished soon.
When Santos was getting processed, one of the detectives approached me, and they said I can go. At this stage, it was 7:40. I had to literally ask for them to give me back my passport if I'm no longer being interrogated or investigated. And they literally they told me I can leave while Santos was being processed. And I just said to them, I'm not leaving. If you ask me to leave, you're going to be infringing my human right to be with my family member. I am not leaving him.
What they were trying was actually to get rid of you, to not be a witness of this injustice. Yeah. Because I knew nothing was wrong with that. And the guy, like, how do I know if someone is putting me a fake passport or not? I don't want to tell the officer, your stamp looks fake. Do I gonna say that to the border patrol officer? Of course not. After that, the thing gets worse. The guy come to me and asked me, do you have a lawyer here? Do you have anyone to represent you? Like, why do I need a lawyer? Like, I really thought was just a normal check. For this, we already lost our flights. We didn't have a place to stay in Rome either. And
yeah, but I think this is where the situation really escalated, because the detectives told me finally, because they wouldn't even speak to me in English. They were literally just speaking in Spanish to Santos, and when I got involved and I said, no, I want you to speak in English, because Santos said, no, I want you to speak in English so that she can understand. And I said to him, like, I've studied law, I want to be able to help him, because you're at the moment, this could be potentially a criminal matter. They said that a judge, not that they're checking with the Barcelona border officers, they said that a judge is going to decide whether a stamp issued in Barcelona in another country is real.
There's no way to prove that if you're in Italy without knowing the Spanish. Everything has no sense. And I was about to face deportation to Mexico, not to the UK.
Yeah.
All my life will be destroyed, and someone will have the power just because he decides to do it from nowhere for no reason. And if you see this image, you can see all the stamps that I have in the same page, and tell me which one you will think is fake. There's no way to know it. Luckily enough, Greta saved me. Greta literally saved my life for this reason.
I need to, like, in my head, I was just like, oh my God, I really need to do something, because this could get really serious and really bad. And luckily, I've remembered that I've studied law with a friend of mine whose dad is a barrister, and luckily he's Italian, and I managed to get hold of him. And luckily, he was actually in Rome. From the moment that we actually got him involved, their whole attitude to us changed.
Yeah, they went down from 5 big guys to 2. Luckily enough, we gotta go free, but we didn't get any refunds, any compensation for the flights. No. We need to book new flights that cost over £300. We need to get a new night in hotel for £100. We spent around £500 just because of this, and they denied to give us any money, or worse than that, any proof of this, any records of this happens.
I actually asked for a report so that I can have. Sorry, I've just covered the microphone. I've asked for a report because obviously, you know, we've been held, we've been detained. They refused to give us their names.
No names, no titles, tell me your name. Impossible. No. I'm doing my job. Impossible. Your job is being a mafia-like person, intimidating people, coming to your country for tourism.
Once you see this, that's when you realise how serious the issue is of racism and how people actually experience racism. You hear about it, but once you actually go through it and you see it, it completely changes your perspective. It was actually traumatizing to know that we could be separated over somebody thinking that the stamp is fake.
And it's so hard to prove that was racism, because you cannot prove the racism is not material. It's nothing that you see, but you feel it. And I swear for God, I know this was a racial profiling situation. I was discriminating for how I look and for my Mexican passport. I was the only one he was totally looking towards every page. Many people come before me, just stand by. Why me? Is the only reason. And please, if you're going to Italy, to Rome specifically, to this airport, Fumizio, take at least by hand the phone of one lawyer. You never know when you is going to be the next. We're going to try to make complaints. We're going to try to raise reports, but we don't have proof of anything because they denied to give us everything. Yeah. And we weren't told like, well, just be lucky that you're getting away now. Exactly. Literally, we are lucky to not being processed by racism. I'm looking for not being deported from nowhere. This is unfair, and this should stop. You actually didn't get it was like, oh, I'm sorry. That's it. Like you've just traumatized people. Yeah, I am traumatized. I'm so glad that I had so much courage. You did, and thank you very much. You literally saved me. You saved me completely. I love you so much. Well, this is only to they make people aware that you should be careful, because I have all my papers. Visa paper, everything. All the stamps are real, and from nowhere, someone decides that can just destroy my life. And this wasn't the first time that this has actually happened to somebody at that airport. Yeah, another friend who is Mexican, who worked for the military here in the UK, but is Mexican. He was stopped going with his daughter. Like that, and in the same airport. Yeah, we will try to interview him so that you can also get his side of the story, because obviously he's experienced a similar situation from the same place. Wait, be safe, please. Be safe, and let's stop this situation happening. And in my marriage, I will never go to Italy anymore. Never. Thank you. Immigration isn't the problem. The borders are.